I have no reinforcements. How is that even odds? Okay. Why don't I have reinforcements? And why don't they have to wait to siege my shit? I don't understand the stupidity of this situation. We'll resolve. If I get an awesome outcome for like some reason, then we'll roll with that. If we get a defeat, I'll reload and move that force closer to Paris. Yeah, defeat. I have no idea how the hell the game exactly expected me to face like 4 stacks with 1. I suppose because I have the city's defenses on my side. But that doesn't particularly help me too much. There is nothing more incredibly taxing than a constant state of annoying-ass war. We could attack the Spanish. We'll try the insane route of attacking the Spaniards.
Forwards! March!
Ignoring the fact that Paris will likely rebel against us.
Men! Forward!
No more than they already are.
Your orders, Your Majesty. Waiting for orders. Onwards! Forwards!
Yes.
For crown and country! Forwards! March! Lord, anything more? Ah, easy prey! We are mighty and unbowed.
Meh. How did that only, like, destroy one of their little stacks? I did. It left Flanders wide open for me.
Yes, my lord.
Surrender refused, really?
Undaunted shall defeat us. Undefeated. Sir! Yes, sir. Ready for orders.
Let's say we could push just to remove the Spanish from. Shit, we may do this. It may. I mean, it may be an incredibly shitty idea. I'm thinking, purely for the sake of the fact that we need to limit the amount of enemies that we have on all of our borders right now, because it's ridiculous. We give Flanders to the Swedes. Team up with the Swedish against our common enemies. And, I don't know. Who are the Swedish fighting other than Russia? Yeah, they're at war with Russia. And they're a protectorate, though, of thingamajig, which is weird for me. Alliance, I give them a region. Flanders. Wolf generated by farms. Let's just see how much I can get off these guys. So why are they unfriendly exactly? Alliance with an enemy nation. I think it's because I have a trade rights with Russia. Now it may seem silly to break my alliance with kind of you know, with Russia. But well, Russia's allied to Poland, and Poland utterly refuses to cooperate with me. The Swedish, they might actually work with me. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, could be. You know, they might at least fight my common enemy. Maybe. And we can help them later on retake everything and sort of rule Europe side by side. In theory. But first of all, we'll break our trade agreement with Russia for a second. I didn't really do anything, did it?
Any further orders?
Tactical retreat. Change the diplomatic relations. A major army no longer have the Romanian region standing in. It was yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't think that through too much.
At the ready.
We'll be back in a moment when I figured all this deployment crap out. Okay, guys, we have skipped ahead a little bit, a few turns actually, and I've come to a solution to our little problem. I've managed to evacuate the enemy stacks from those savory, whatever the battalion twats. They've had to evacuate France or risk war with my new ally. So, I looked around the place, I tried to talk to Portugal, not Portugal, fucking Poland, in an attempt to get on their good side. And I offered them France and thingamajig for peace agreement and alliance, which would then get me on the good side with Russia and everybody. Basically, everyone I talked to was a complete and utter fucking asshole. The only person that was moderately agreeable with me was Sweden. So, I've spoken to the Swedes, we've given them France, Paris, and basically agreed you can have the majority of Europe. And then they act as a buffer between me and Spain and everybody, so now we can focus a lot more on, you know... We're not so overwhelmed with allies around every single corner this time around. Though we still have to kick the French out of their last two holdings in Europe. It shouldn't be too difficult. And we've also got an upcoming battle in the Caribbean also. But yeah, basically, we're going to let the Swedish control the mainland Europe. And probably just leave them to fight Russia and whoever the hell else they want to fight. But they'll be my buffer between everyone else, me and the rest of, you know, everyone. I will most likely take the southern top of Asia and everywhere, and pretty much all of the Mediterranean I'll take as well. But for now, at least, we've also broken our trade agreement with Russia, which made them pretty much hate us. Yeah, alliance with an enemy nation. They got -70 because of alliance with an enemy nation. I assume that was the trade rights, which I've cancelled now, so hopefully that will disappear eventually. But yeah, we'll see. We've made all my moves this turn, so we'll end it and see how things go. Okay. Hopefully I'm controlling my troops and not the encamped troops. But let's do this. Defending Flanders alongside the Swedish. The one thing Sweden has done for the last couple of turns is cancel our military alliance like every turn for the last couple of turns for some reason. And then I just get it back again afterwards. I don't know why, what the hell they're planning there. We got a common enemy. I'm giving him land in Europe and promising to, you know, well, help him out against Russia. He would have eventually lost to Russia, is the thing. It's a bit of a risky move since I've pretty much made an enemy of Russia and not really made a step in the direction of making peace with Poland. More in the opposite direction. But nobody else would agree to me. Nobody else would take... Well, some people would take it, but they were like allies of Spain or allies of France and whatnot and couldn't be trusted as an ally. I actually offered it to the savoury Italian guys, whatever the hell you want to do with savoury Italians. I actually offered it to the Italian dudes, but they kept asking for lands in the Caribbean. And I was like, no, I'm not giving you those. Fuck off. You can have the entire France or some islands in the Caribbean. Get your fucking priorities straight, man. We'll use our cavalry to great advantage here. All those guys over there just to support them. Cannons can stop there, buddy. Join up with my troops. I tried to help the Swedes, but they're just getting their asses kicked. So. If you gentlemen wish to live, you'll join me or else. Where the hell are all my cavalry? They're bugging out, great. I'm pretty sure we've lost this. What the fuck? Get back here, you crazy bastards! Well, we just got annihilated, didn't we? What the hell are you morons doing? Alright, gentlemen, the day's lost. Route. Well, that was just like no chance in hell.
Infantry reporting. For himself!
I'm afraid this day's lost. The French may have regained a bit of land, but it won't last. Dude, I said run. You meant to be running. Well, I would put up a fight, but you know, I shouldn't have bothered trying to save the Swedish. I should have just left them. I should have just gathered all my troops at one point and then went from there. But just let the Swede forces kill each other slowly, and you know, I lost 1,000 men, and my troops were mostly left alive. I mean, they escaped. Okay, we're getting attacked here, are we? I don't really feel like doing the same old defensive battle all over again. I'll just save for a second, see if we can get a decent auto-resolve result. If not, we'll do it. Victory! 3,000, son of a bitch, that's a lot of troops. I mean, that's a lot of troops. I probably still lose that much, but, you know, it's still fucking hell. Oh, I can't be bothered. It's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't be bothered. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I have a bit of bad news. I mean, we've skipped ahead a considerable bit in order to get some diplomacy and crap out of the way. We took a few basic castles with some tiny little auto-resolve battles. And we handed over some territory to Poland in order to get their allegiance with us. We've got trade rights. They're pretty good allies with us now. They're very friendly, and we got trade. So yeah, we did that. We've given Flanders and everything, so it separates us from the Spanish. We're keeping Amsterdam and the Netherlands as our foothold in Europe, or at least Central Europe. We betrayed the Swedish. Well, not really betrayed, because they were never our allies. Every turn they declined our alliance for some fucking reason. But we stabbed them in the back and handed over their lands to the Polish. We're in the process of moving against the last remaining Sweden holding, which we're going to take Hanover and give it to the Russians as our peace agreement and, you know, hey guys, we want to be your friends. So we'll get a peace agreement and alliance and trade rights and everything with the Russians. So that will boost our economy immensely. We got a peace agreement as well with Spain, who just accepted a ceasefire, because I've probably crushed loads of their forces by now. But yeah, basically we are at peace in Europe, pretty much. Once we get our alliance with Russia and deal with Sweden. Currently, however, the Ottoman Empire has declared war on us. They're a little threat right now. And another note, the only main thing that you've missed is Scotland has been taken by the Mughal Empire. They just landed on the coast without me noticing, and they took it. I can very, very, very easily march north and reclaim Scotland. They're a bunch of, you know, they aren't very good, the troops or anything. We can easily deal with them swiftly enough. We'll send troops up from London, no doubt, and from over in Amsterdam, now that we're no longer at war in mainland Europe. We can easily deal with them and kick them out. So eventually, trade will be flowing throughout Europe. England will be a safe hub, and we'll be at peace around here. I won't bother going into any other wars. I think England's had enough of fighting over Europe. I think it's too much blood for very little gain compared to the Americas, which has got us a lot of more shit. Denmark we will annex into the Empire. They can either bend or we'll utterly destroy them. Meanwhile, in the Caribbean, we still control pretty much everything that we had controlled before. Cuba's got the majority of our forces, while Port Royal is still acting as our main military base that oversees the Caribbean. We're still, again, fighting the idiotic douchebag empire over a few islands that they've managed to nab from us, but we should very easily be able to grab those back now that we're at peace in Europe. If we go to the diplomacy screen, the France faction has been completely wiped out because we destroyed them on the mainland in Europe. They disappeared as a faction, and now, what the hell? Who are they? Yeah, they're not those guys. I'm pretty sure somebody has replaced them in the Americas as like a rebel French faction that's not actually, you know, France, the monarchy anymore, because that's been destroyed. So there's no more France, and the moment we killed France, the United States popped up in the Americas. They're currently, like, they hold one region and aren't doing anything. Whether or not their future will be bright is debatable, but generally, since we're no longer fighting in Europe, England's main focus is going to be claiming all of the Americas. We will hold everything, and the Indian tribes can either get out of our fucking way or be utterly destroyed. Same goes for the Americans. Hi guys. Hi guys. You can either bend the knee or fucking horrible, painful death. Go with the horrible, painful death if you like. Yeah, these are the French rebels. These guys. The light blue ones. So yeah, that's what the future holds for the British Empire. Pretty much just taking over the entire of the Americas and sending all that trade and rich resources back to England, and possibly in the future, because we still hate the Spanish and we have a dodgy peace agreement, peace treaty thing with them, we'll probably have a war break out eventually, and we'll probably lay siege to Paris again in the future and have a war with the Spanish. Or we'll join forces with Poland against the Spanish or somebody else. Or maybe Russia, I'm not sure. Generally, right now though, the main focus of the Empire is to just fucking... Well, first of all, is to reclaim Scotland. And then it's to take the Americas, which means getting a peace treaty with everyone else and ensuring that there's no need for, you know, adverse crap. You know, limit the amount of enemies that we have and just focus on taking all of the Americas and dealing with the Indians there. Now you may be asking yourself, Soul, why aren't you recording all of this stuff that you say you're going to do? Well, the game's fucked. Long story short. A couple of turns back, I was slightly worried about this as well, because it got to the Ottoman turn and nothing happened. It got to the Ottoman Empire and just stood there for 20 minutes. I went into the fucking kitchen, made myself some lunch, watched TV for like fucking 10 minutes while I ate. Came back in, and then the turn was done. It took like a good 15 to 20 minutes to do one turn. And after that, it worked okay for a while. It worked okay for a while. It wasn't too bad. And then just recently, whenever I end my turn, which I won't bother doing now, we get to Russia, and just bang, it freezes, goes to a grinding standstill, just sits there. I left the computer again, thinking, okay, maybe I'll just have to sort of edit this out of the video, and it won't be too bad. And I'll come back in another half an hour. I came back in like half an hour, nothing, still stuck on Russia. So I came back in like another 10 minutes, nothing, still stuck on Russia, and I've given up. Unfortunately, the game is not letting us continue the campaign as much as I would like. It's better that we end it now on a semi, disappointing note, that we didn't get to kill as many people as we wanted to kill. and end it the way we wanted it to. But I'd rather end it in a time of peace, sort of on the prefaces, blah, 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 on the edge. We use the word edge, very sophisticated word, that. On the edge of a little, you know, mass invasion of the Americas, which would be relatively easy for me to do now that we're at peace. But yeah, better that we end it now that we're at peace and we have sort of an ending of sorts to end on, rather than, say, me having this problem in the middle of a war, where we'd have to go, oh, we're halfway through conquering the Americas, but now, yeah, the game's fucked. Because this is going to happen again. Even if I could get past Russia, it's going to happen again. If not on Russia, on the Ottoman Empire or some shit. I looked it up on Google. Apparently, it's a common thing in something to do with the AI building so many armies that the mod just sort of grinds to a halt. It moves. It does load the turns, but it moves so fucking slowly that you just don't fucking notice it moving. it just sits there. It does move, but you sort of have to go away from your computer for like 40 minutes or so in order to end a turn. Apparently this isn't the same on all campaigns, only certain campaigns do it. It's kind of a weird bug. And for whatever reason they haven't sort of found a fix for it, or bothered to do a fix for it. That I know of, anyway. And if I was just playing for the sake of playing and, you know, not recording, then that wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. I mean, I could slowly continue this, the campaign and eventually win it. But since we're recording, having an inability to do one turn, I mean, playing one turn and having to wait half an hour for the turn to finish is not a viable option when you're recording a YouTube series. So yeah, after much consideration, I have decided that we'll end it here on this bombshell. Say goodbye to the British Empire and wish them the best of luck in conquering the Americas and generally kicking everyone's ass eventually, you know, giving payback and justice. And when I mean justice, I mean horrible, horrible suffering to anybody that's ever looked at us wrong. But yeah, we'll leave it on this bombshell, and we'll leave it on this slightly disappointing bombshell. I do apologise for that. I'm disappointed that we didn't get to do what I wanted to do, at least all of it. But it was fun. It was fun. I'm glad I played this game. It all started with me watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and then I was like, yeah, I kind of want to play that game. I've never, well, actually, I've completed it once, and this would have been the second time. I count it. We did pretty well. We did pretty well, I think. It's a decent-ish place to end, I suppose. If at any point I can return, still use the save and fix it, we may return, but I promise nothing in that regard. So, guys, this is where we will end it, unless I say otherwise. Which is unlikely to happen. Don't get your hopes up. Whether or not I do another faction with this game is debatable. I'd be slightly worried about encountering the same issue that we're having now. So, you know, I wouldn't want to get too invested into another campaign just to have this happen again. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this series. Again, sorry that we had to cut it a little short. But, you know, shit happens. At least we had a fun time doing it, I suppose. I thank you all for watching. This has been Soul, and I am getting the fuck out of here. Soul out.